Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Gambling Flow. I'm Russell Kane,
And I'm Fiona Blake.
and we are back with another deep dive.
Into the psychology of gambling.
It's fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
One thing that I always find really interesting is how we, as humans, as gamblers, deal with loss.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a universal experience in gambling, yet some people seem to shrug it off and move on,
Right.
while others, it can really derail their whole session, their whole week.
Totally.
So what is it about that? I mean, what's the secret sauce there? What's the difference?
Yeah, it's definitely about perspective and how you frame those losses.
Okay.
If you think about seasoned gamblers, the people who consistently come out on top,
Right.
they don't see losses as like setbacks, but more as data points. Like it's just information, it's feedback.
Right.
That helps them kind of understand the inherent variance in gambling and refine their strategies.
Okay, so it's not about avoiding losses altogether.
No.
It's about managing how you react to them.
Right. It's about kind of building up that emotional resilience,
Yeah.
maintaining a sense of equilibrium, not letting the highs get too high or the lows too low.
So you're talking about like an emotional armor almost.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And I think a really good example of this is Don Johnson,
Okay.
the high-stakes blackjack player.
Yeah. Took casinos for millions.
Yeah, millions. And what's really interesting is that he also had some big losses along the way,
Right.
but he never let them really faze him.
Right.
He kept that calculated mindset.
Right.
And just understood that losses are part of the equation.
You just saw it as like a cost of entry,
Yeah,
the price you pay for playing in the big leagues.
exactly.
Yeah.
And this isn't just something for the high rollers.
Right.
Think about successful sports bettors.
Yeah.
They might lose nearly half their bets,
Right.
but they still manage to generate huge profits over time.
Because they understand the probabilities involved.
Exactly. It's all about bankroll management, Right. not getting too attached to a single win or loss.
It's about the long game.
Exactly.
It's like you need to really study it, understand it inside and out to be able to win.
Yeah, and not just rely on luck.
Right.
It takes more than that.
I was reading about this study by a psychology professor, Kevin Labar,
Okay.
and he was showing that people who kind of diversify their bets, spread them out a little,
Right.
tend to handle losses much better
Interesting.
than those who put all their eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Just the one bet.
The all or nothing approach.
Yeah. So it's like having a portfolio?
It is. It's like the portfolio approach to gambling,
Yeah.
just like in investing.
Okay.
By spreading out the bets, you're essentially creating a safety net.
Right.
You cushion the impact of individual losses.
You're mitigating the risk.
Exactly. It lets you really enjoy those wins.
Right.
And then shrug off those losses.
Okay. So how does that work in practice? Like, what should someone do if they're thinking about building a portfolio of bets?
Well, it depends on the person. What's their risk tolerance?
Right.
What's their bankroll like? What kind of gambling are they into? Some people might diversify by betting on different sports or different leagues.
Wow.
Others might explore different betting systems or, try different strategies within a certain game.
It's just about finding the right balance for you.
Exactly.
Right.
What are your goals? What are your boundaries?
Okay.
But the key is to avoid putting all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
Don't get overexposed to any single event.
It's a dance between maximizing your returns and minimizing your losses.
Right.
I mean, speaking of kind of different types of gambling, have you ever heard of pachinko?
Yeah.
It's like this really popular gambling game in Japan.
Uh-huh.
It's crazy. I was reading that studies have shown that older adults,
Oh, wow.
even people in their 70s who play pachinko regularly, actually have better cognitive skills than people who spend most of their time watching TV.
That's really interesting. Yeah.
It really speaks to the fact that this is a game that involves,
Engagement.
mental engagement, thinking strategically,
Right.
and that keeps those gears turning.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like a fun game, but personally, if I was looking for something to keep my mind sharp, I think I'd probably stick to something like poker.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What is it about poker that you find so appealing?
I don't know. There's just something about it. You've got that incomplete information
Right.
You're always trying to read your opponents,
Yes.
anticipate their next move,
And their betting patterns.
Yeah, it's like a constant mental workout.
It is. It's like a puzzle.
Yeah, and it's never really solved.
Never fully solved that.
Yeah, so it's not just about the cards you're dealt, it's also about the psychology of the game.
Exactly.
It's about the mental battle that you're having with your opponents.
Absolutely.
I always think of it like a chess match but with cards.
I love that analogy.
Yeah, and every decision you make has like a ripple effect.
Right. Yeah. And then you add the social element of poker.
It's a whole other layer.
Yeah. I mean, you've got people from all walks of life sitting at the table,
Right.
all with their own unique playing styles, personalities, you know.
And you have to read them all.
Yeah. Figure out their tells,
Yeah.
navigate the dynamics of the table. It's crazy.
It's a lot to take in.
It's so much more than just a game of chance.
It really is. It's skill, strategy, psychological warfare.
It is. It's a battle of wits.
It is.
Yeah, and what I think is so great about it is you can never truly master it
No.
because there's always something new to learn,
Always.
new strategies,
Absolutely.
new opponents to figure out. It's constantly pushing you to improve,
Yes.
become a better player.
Sharpen your skills.
Yeah. So it's a challenge that never gets old.
No, never.
It's exciting.
It is exciting.
It's like gambling can appeal to people for so many different reasons.
Totally.
Some people, they're drawn to the complexity of poker. Others, they might love the fast-paced action of slots.
Yeah.
So what is it that accounts for that diversity?
I think it really comes down to individual personality. What are they looking for? What's
Yeah.
their risk tolerance?
Ah,
Some people, they thrive on the intellectual challenge,
Right.
the social interaction,
right.
while others are looking for something more immersive,
Yeah.
more sensory, the lights and sounds.
Yeah.
It's about finding what speaks to you personally.
It's like choosing your favorite genre of music or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong when it comes to taste.
Right.
Just like there's no best form of gambling.
Right.
It's just about finding what you enjoy, what keeps you engaged,
Right.
and what aligns with your goals and your boundaries.
So it's about exploring all the different forms of gambling out there and finding what resonates with you,
Exactly.
whether that's poker, bingo, roulette, whatever.
Right.
Yeah. But the key is to approach it with awareness, curiosity,
Good responsibility.
and responsibility.
Right.
That's a great point. And to remember that at the end of the day, it's a form of entertainment.
Exactly.
Yeah. You've got to find that sweet spot where the thrill of the game
Yeah.
meets responsible decision-making.
It's all about finding the balance.
Right.
Enjoying the ride, but doing it safely.
It's like a dance
It is.
between luck and skill.
Yes.
You're constantly adapting, you're learning, you're refining your approach.
Absolutely.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of Gambling Flow.
Yeah.
We talked about the psychology of winning and losing, the importance of resilience, the power of diversification. We even touched on pachinko
We did.
and the nuances of poker.
Yes.
It's been fascinating.
Really interesting stuff.
Yeah. But we're just getting started. Stay tuned for part 2 of this deep dive. We'll be back soon.
We'll see you then. Welcome back to Gambling Flow, everybody.
All right. So
Right.
we've talked a lot about the mental game of gambling, but are there any actual techniques, strategies that people can use to help them actually deal with losing streaks?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's easy to just say, oh, be resilient,
Yeah.
stay detached. But how do you actually do that when you're in the middle of it?
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, it's one thing to talk about it theoretically, but it's a whole different ballgame when you're in the heat of the moment, right?
Right.
But there are some practical strategies that can really make a difference. One of the most important is setting clear limits
Okay.
before you even start gambling.
So before you even place a bet.
Exactly. Decide how much you're willing to lose and then stick to it, no matter what.
Discipline, huh?
Yeah, it's all about discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Because that way you're not going to be making those impulsive decisions fueled by emotion.
Right. Especially when you're on a losing streak.
Right, exactly. And it's like having a budget
Okay.
for your gambling session, just like you would for any other kind of entertainment, really. Another technique that I find helpful is to really try to focus on the process.
The process.
Yeah, more than just the outcome. Like, even if you end up losing,
Right.
can you honestly say that you played well? That you made smart decisions?
Huh.
And that you enjoyed the experience?
Right.
If so, then the loss might sting a little less.
Okay.
It's about finding that satisfaction in the journey itself, not just the destination.
Yeah.
I always think about it like in sports.
Okay.
You can't control whether you're going to win or lose every game,
Right.
but you can control how much effort you put in,
Right.
how you play, and if you're executing your game plan.
Right. It's about playing the best game you can. regardless of the final score.
Exactly. And it's also important to remember that variance is just a natural part of gambling.
Right.
There are going to be upswings
Mm-hmm.
and downswings. You'll have hot streaks and cold streaks.
Right.
But understanding that that's just part of it can really help you ride out those inevitable losing streaks.
You got to accept the ebb and flow.
Yeah,
You
right.
can't fight it.
Right.
You just have to kind of learn to navigate it.
We were talking about poker earlier and how it's such a mentally stimulating game. What is it about poker that appeals to you in that way? What sets it apart, do you think, from other forms of gambling?
Well, I think what I find so fascinating about poker is that it's a game of incomplete information.
Right.
You know, you're constantly trying to read your opponents, figure out their betting patterns, make these calculated decisions based on probabilities, psychology, gut feeling even.
Like a constant mental workout.
It really is. It's
Yeah.
like this ongoing puzzle that you're trying to solve.
It's never really solved, is it?
No, it's never fully solved.
Yeah.
Because every hand is different. Every situation is different.
It's not just about the cards you're dealt.
No, it's so much more than that.
Yeah, you got to think about the mental game you're playing with your opponents.
Absolutely.
It really is like a chess match.
With cards,
Yeah.
every decision you make has these huge ripple effects.
Right, you're constantly thinking a few steps ahead.
And then you add in the social element,
Oh, yeah?
which is crazy. I mean, you've got people from all walks of life sitting at that table
Exactly.
with their own, playing styles and personalities.
You have to read all of them.
Figure out their tells, navigate the dynamics of the table.
It's a lot to handle.
It's crazy. It's so much more than just chance.
It really is.
It takes skill, strategy, like you said, psychological warfare.
It's a battle of wits, for sure.
It's a mental marathon.
It is.
And I think that's what makes it so great. Like, you can never truly master it.
No, you can't.
There's always something more to learn.
Always.
New strategies to try, new opponents to figure out. It's constantly pushing you to improve,
Yes, it's a constant challenge.
Yeah, and that's what keeps it exciting.
Right. Never gets boring.
No, it never gets boring. It's interesting, like, gambling can appeal to people for so many different reasons.
Absolutely.
Like, some people are really drawn to that complexity of poker.
Right.
Others, they might love the fast-paced action of slots or something.
Right. Totally different experience.
So what do you think accounts for that kind of diversity of preferences?
I think it really comes down to personality.
Yep.
Individual personality. What are they looking to get out of it? What's their risk tolerance? Some people thrive on that intellectual challenge and social interaction,
Right.
while others, they're looking for something more immersive, more sensory.
Right, the lights and sounds.
Exactly. The whole casino atmosphere. It's really about finding what speaks to you personally.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like choosing a genre of music.
Exactly.
Right.
There's no right or wrong.
No right or wrong.
It's just about taste.
Yeah.
Just like there's no best form of gambling. It's all about finding what you enjoy, what keeps you engaged, and what aligns with your goals and your boundaries.
So it's about exploring the vast world of gambling and finding what resonates with you, whether it's poker, bingo, roulette, whatever.
Right, exactly.
But the key, like you said, to approach it with awareness,
With awareness, curiosity.
curiosity,
Right.
and responsibility.
And responsibility, yes. It's a crucial part of it.
That's a really good point. Because it's easy to forget sometimes that at its core, it is a form of entertainment.
Right. It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be enjoyable.
So you need to find that sweet spot where the thrill of the game,
Yes.
meets responsible decision-making.
It's all about balance.
It is. It's about balance.
Enjoying the ride, but doing it safely.
It's like a dance.
It is a dance.
Between luck and skill,
Yeah,
right?
man, yes.
You're constantly adapting and learning and refining your approach.
Absolutely. You have to stay flexible and be willing to adjust.
So we've talked about coping with losses, the mental workout of poker, even the different reasons people are drawn to different types of gambling.
It's been quite a discussion, but there's still so much more to explore.
Oh yeah, we've only just scratched the surface.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk a little bit more about the social dynamics of gambling. It's something that we kind of touched upon when we were talking about poker,
Right.
but it really extends far beyond that.
It does.
I mean, so many forms of gambling are inherently social,
Yeah.
whether it's, the camaraderie you find in a bingo hall, or the shared excitement of a horse race, or the, lively banter around a craps table.
Absolutely.
There's this sense of community, shared experience.
Right.
It really draws people together.
It's like these shared rituals and traditions create a sense of belonging.
Yeah.
You feel like you're part of something bigger than yourself.
Right.
And these social connections can have a huge impact on the overall gambling experience.
How so?
Well, they can amplify the highs of winning,
Oh,
provide support during those losing streaks,
right.
and you can even, create some really lasting friendships and memories.
It's interesting because something that could be a very solitary activity,
Right.
is transformed into this shared experience full of, laughter,
Yeah.
commiseration,
Yeah.
the thrill of not knowing what's going to happen.
Exactly. It's the anticipation, the shared excitement. It just adds another layer to the whole thing.
Yeah, think about a casino floor.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's designed to be a social playground,
Right.
a place where people can come together, let loose,
Let their hair down.
share in the excitement of the games.
The energy's palpable.
Is.
The drinks are flowing. The air is thick with anticipation.
I always think of it like a microcosm of society. You've
Mhm.
got people from all walks of life,
Right.
all converging in this one place.
Yeah, brought together by that desire for a little entertainment,
Yeah,
maybe a little escapism, and hopefully a touch of
a
fortune.
bit of luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's those social interactions. I mean, they can really add a whole new dimension to the games themselves.
They really can.
You know that little friendly rivalry at the blackjack table? Or this, shared celebration after a big win at the slots?
You're right.
Or even just striking up a conversation with a complete stranger
Right.
about their, lucky numbers or whatever.
Yeah, those little moments can turn into really fun memories.
Exactly, and they can make the whole gambling experience even more enjoyable.
They really can.
Yeah, I think it's those unexpected connections,
Mm-hmm.
shared experiences that really stay with us.
They do. They're the ones you remember.
Yeah, reminds me of this one time I was playing roulette in Vegas,
Okay.
and this group of people at the table, I mean, total strangers, started cheering me on
Oh, wow.
as I was, having a bit of a winning streak.
Fun.
It was. And it just created this, incredible sense of camaraderie,
Right.
even though we'd literally just met moments before.
It's amazing how gambling can do that.
It is.
It brings people together, creates
Wow.
this collective excitement, this shared joy.
Yeah, it's like when you're at a sporting event,
Yeah.
and everyone erupts in cheers. It doesn't matter who they're rooting for.
Mhm.
It's that shared sense of exhilaration that unites everyone.
Exactly. And those shared emotions, they're really powerful.
Yeah.
They create this sense of community, this feeling of belonging that extends beyond the game itself.
So it's not just about the gambling.
No, it's about the connections you make.
The experiences you share.
Right.
It's amazing how gambling can be this, catalyst for social interaction.
It is.
It fosters connections that might never have happened otherwise.
It opens up possibilities.
Yeah, and I think it's important to remember that gambling, at its core, is not just about winning or losing.
No.
It's about human connection,
Yes.
shared experiences.
And the thrill of the unknown.
Yeah, the thrill of the unknown. And, it's interesting because those social aspects of gambling can also have a positive impact on our mental and emotional well-being.
That's true.
I mean, studies have shown that social interaction plays a crucial role in maintaining cognitive function, reducing stress,
Yes.
even boosting our immune systems.
That's right.
So engaging in gambling activities that involve social interaction can actually contribute to a healthier lifestyle.
Exactly. It's not just about the thrill of the game, it's about the connections you make and the positive impact those connections can have on your overall well-being.
So not only can it be fun,
Right.
it can be good for us too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Of course, like with anything, it's all about balance.
Right.
Approach gambling responsibly, set healthy boundaries. But when done in moderation with a focus on those social aspects,
Yeah.
gambling can be a really positive and enriching experience.
It's a good reminder that gambling, like life itself, is about finding balance,
Yeah.
connecting with others, and embracing the journey, not just the destination.
Beautifully said. It's about savoring the moments, appreciating the ups and downs.
Well, I think we've covered some incredible ground today. We've explored the psychology of winning and losing,
We have.
the importance of resilience, the power of diversification. We even delved into the nuances of poker
And the fascinating world of pachinko.
and the profound impact of social dynamics in the world of gambling. It's been amazing.
It really has.
And as always, it's been an absolute pleasure to dive into these really intriguing topics with you.
Likewise.
So thank you for joining us on this journey.
The pleasure was all mine.
And to all of our listeners out there, thank you for tuning in to Gambling Flow, your daily dose of gambling insights and exploration. I'm Russell Kane.
And I'm Fiona Blake.
We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the endlessly fascinating world of gambling psychology.
Remember to gamble responsibly, enjoy the ride, and never stop exploring.
And don't forget to subscribe to Gambling Flow for your daily dose of gambling knowledge. Like, comment, and share this episode with your fellow gambling enthusiasts. Until next time, keep those minds sharp and those bets strategic.